Ready. So now on to Chrono Trigger. Very abruptly.
Alright, I wish you guys good luck. Team Jeff, go! Go, Jeff! Go, Jeff, 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 Jeff. Go, guys. Good luck, and have a nice evening.
Alright, Jerry, if you want to explain the first couple menus while I get some layout things sorted.
Yo, sounds good. Well, welcome everybody. This is Chrono Trigger. Let's explain just a little bit of what's going on right now on screen. Kehanort's a little bit ahead. He's about to enter the teleport cutscene part of the run, which is basically just still in the introduction. We're gonna see right now on SNESWarrior screen. He's gonna do a little bit of menu changes that are gonna basically dictate the run. He's gonna want to change his battle speed to 1. That makes the action bar, which is the way the battle system works in Chrono Trigger, go faster. And he also sets his cursor on memory. So what that does is that it reminds you of the last tech you do, or the last attack, the last item you used. And if the next turn, if you want to use the same item again, you can just basically mash A. But not only that, it also gives us the ability to hold X. And if we hold X, you can attack like normal attack on the first frame. So that's going to be really, really helpful for us.
Right. So I guess the game starts off somewhat slow with a couple of cutscenes. I guess you might as well explain a little bit about NullSS. A lot of people were asking earlier what NullSS stands for. So NullSS stands for No Level Shell Skip. In layman's terms, it's basically a very luck-based and precise trick that allows you to skip the only part of the final boss we end up fighting. So there are many reasons why people don't do it, mainly the luck and also sort of the anticlimacticness of it. And NullSS is sort of the main category of Chrono Trigger, and has definitely had lots of interest in the recent months and weeks. The route for this category is still pretty active. We've had recent changes even last week and stuff like that. These two runners should also be at the top of the curve in terms of knowledge and skill as well. SW probably being one of the, probably if not the top runner, one of the top 3 for sure. And Kehanort has been practicing a lot. Not streaming too much, so we don't really know what kind of runner you're in for, but it's going to be very exciting for sure. And they're starting off pretty close. I mean, there's only like a minute between the two teams, you know, starting off. That's pretty good for 2 hours of RPG. Hopefully the lead tightens a bit, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. In this game, the time differences are gonna get up and down every single time. Yeah. Everything makes you lose a little bit of time, and well, if you get to die, then yeah, you're gonna lose a lot of time.
That's the thing with CT at a kind of high level. It's a losing battle. Like if you play badly, you're gonna lose like a minute, but if you play really well, you're gonna gain a couple of seconds. So it's more so trying to not lose time than it is trying to gain time. So it's really up to who can sort of calm their nerves and play as consistently as possible. And that's really what's gonna get you there. So Kehanort getting into his first battle. So one thing I don't think we've mentioned is RNG manipulation. We're not going to go too in depth through it because all you need to basically know is that we're going to be trying to do essentially the same thing in every battle. And if you do approximately the same thing with approximately the same starting RNG, you're going to get the same end result, except for certain fights where you need precise crits and stuff like that. So that crit there that he just got, that was entirely predictable because we knew the starting RNG with no saves, which is an occurrence 0. And so, ideally, they never lose RNG manipulation and only reset once or twice to sort of affect it. Because resetting in this game will reset RNG to 0, and then you'll get a specific RNG based on how long you wait in the save screen. So there's our Kehanort burst skip. That's one of the many pixel-perfect skips in this game. So you need to be on one of 2 pixels and then run up. Now the tricky part about that one is right after the second pixel is the enemy trigger, so if you go too far you're going to get into the encounter. And getting into encounters is what's going to for sure mess up your RNG, at least 90% of the time. And in total that would have cost him about 30 seconds, so that's definitely something you don't want to do. Though yeah, these runners are definitely, I'd say, well versed enough to avoid that kind of mistake.
Yeah, the way RNG works, basically we have a certain script that has to be followed, so every single battle they get into, it advances the RNG by a certain value, and every attack also. So you want to sort of follow the pattern and try to avoid any extra attacks or extra battles. So you can keep this line, and it can help you manipulate damage, crits, etc. So it makes the game way faster, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't even have an estimate about how much time you'd lose. Yeah, as for the when the category differences separate, there's a few differences in routing because of null SS. Because null SS, you have to actually prepare for a final boss fight. You're going to be using Marley in a few places to get her some more TP. Because she needs to learn haste, which is a very vital skill for the end of the game.
Yeah, and there SNESWarrior also got the bird skip, which is pretty nice.
Yeah. You played safer than the next picked him too. It's good. SNESWarrior is like, I don't know. I think what's funny with CT is everyone has these sort of quirks and sort of ways of doing things. Because in CT it's pretty open in the sense that there's different optimal ways of doing things, or at least they come very close to the point where if you're just better at doing it a certain way, you're gonna be faster, even if it's like losing frames. So SW, he's known for playing super risky. He's like the polar opposite of me.
Let's see how many risky strats he does this run.
Yeah. By risky, it's like not stopping for bird skip, which is like a 1-frame trick, because you run at 2 pixels per frame. And other great stuff like that. But yeah. In terms of leaderboard placing, I think SW got like a 3rd place run that he hasn't uploaded. But he's definitely, I think he's capable of getting world record, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. This run is very hard, and have we ever had a marathon run where someone didn't die? It's a lava show. I mean, you can still get sub 3 a lot with dying the lava show, which is pretty amazing. Just to see how far the route has come.
Yeah, for sure. The world record's now 249, so yeah, it's come a long way.
And 249 was a really good time, like a month ago. No, it's that's not so good. Just because of how fast their routing is in this game.
Yeah.
So Kehanort out of cutscene hell. So he's gonna get into some extra fights in this forest. This is sort of the only bit of grinding we do in the entire run. It's just that we need to learn Flame Whirl for one fight. Or we just want it to have it by that fight, otherwise we're gonna lose a lot of time. So here he's not just gonna, hold X to attack, he's gonna attack in a specific way to not get hit. Which obviously saves time. And so there, he waited and queued up Luca's attack during Chrono's attack. And that meant that Luca could target the same guy as Chrono, but then get redirected. And when there's a redirect, the game's RNG advances a bit more than if you just attacked. So we use that to our advantage to set up the next fight, so that we get crits.
Yeah, that was a pretty nice addition. Before we used to literally just wait without doing anything to advance the RNG. But thanks to these RNG jumps, as we call them, we can advance the RNG just as you're gonna see Kehanort do right now, attacking the enemy that dies, and then Chrono hits for 19.
Death counter. I think the last marathon run I did, and I died twice. Though in my defense, I don't think either of them were really my fault, but... So yeah, we're gonna see that infamous fight we were talking about earlier. So these nuggets, they're weak to fire, and they're pretty much impervious to anything else, so... You want to have access to Flame Whirl, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Also, if you don't have your RNG, they got this slow spell that takes around 6 seconds per animation.
And it's pretty rare to be able to target all 3 of them, as you're gonna see Kehanort do right here.
He gets the critical to manipulate the AI of the nuggets.
Yeah,
and then he gets 3 of them.
Because if you don't crit there, one of them is gonna attack you, if I remember correct. Or is it? I think it's slow. You can like cancel actions by attacking stuff.
Yep. At the same time, we're seeing SNESWarrior get through the forest fights, trying to get Fire World. So this fight is way faster with Fire.
So one thing we forgot to mention is renaming characters. Like most RPGs, you want to rename characters to 1 letter if you can. This game though, it's a bit tricky because you can't just press B to cancel out letters. What you have to do is insert blank spaces which is sort of counterintuitive, but it works. So here he's gonna name Frog to Blink 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 G, for example. I don't know the exact timings, but like between all characters, it saves a good 40 seconds. Because technically this game is relatively slow.
Yeah, I mean, I know it used to be 10 seconds for Marl and Luca, and then 6 for Chrono and Ayla, then 3 for Frog and Robo. It's like very, very little. But since the route has changed so much, I don't know how that stands up now. But
it is like
it's a little bit of time.
Slightly less text now. Getting the safety revive. You can basically get that revive at the expense of like slightly worse item management, but in a marathon, it's definitely a good idea. I think like, I think you can avoid the safety save for a boss later by getting that revive, but we'll see. He also did a fade out there. I guess we'll explain that there. So, in this game, transitions don't automatically like lock you out when you hit the edge of a screen. What happens is that you can still move. You can also still open the menu. And every time you open the menu, it resets the transition. So you can combine moving and opening the menu repeatedly to sort of store the transition. Then if you interact with something, and the transition goes off, of course, because you're not opening the menu again, what happens is that the game triggers the action, registers it as having been triggered, but then whoops you out of the room before, like, the rest of it can happen. So in certain events, certain cases, the game will say, oh, well, you beat the fight. Oh, well, you triggered the cutscene, and it's over. In certain other situations, it'll say, oh, you triggered the cutscene, but you didn't finish it. So the cutscene is still there. So that's going to be useful in a few places to skip cutscenes, as well as skipping some bosses. Then another property that we might as well explain now, because it's going to happen super fast later, is if you're on a save point, when you get pulled out of the screen, the game still thinks you're on the save point until you enter another room with a save point in it, and the game rechecks to see if you're on a save point or not. So that allows you to save anywhere you want, basically. It's called the Save Anywhere glitch, conveniently. And so you can use that to save on top of event triggers, and thus skip the event trigger by reloading.
Yep, that's gonna be super useful. We're gonna use it to skip a few bosses, including one that's coming up in like...
Yeah, we're gonna see an action right here. And another glitch. It's the de-equip glitch. So what that is basically confusing the game by switching to the next character and pressing a direction at the same time. And so the way that works is that you end up tricking what the game thinks you're trying to equip, and what the game thinks you can equip. And so it allows you to equip nothing, and nothing is actually a really good piece of equipment early on, because it gives you really high magic attack and defense. And since bosses aren't too much of a threat physically yet, we don't need the defense that we lose, of course, by having nothing equipped. And so the magic attack and defense lets us do a ton of damage and not take very much damage from magic attacks, which are very prevalent early on. So here is save past the trigger. Since you're past the trigger, you can move during this cutscene, even though you're not supposed to, which allows you to sort of cancel this text by leaving the boundaries of where the screen expects you to be when the text appears. So then he's going to push against the Aqua to speed up his animation. And then as the fight triggers, he's going to be out of where the game expects him to be. So the game thinks, oh, since the fight has been triggered, and he's not in the area I expect him to be, he must have finished the fight. And it pulls up this cutscene that happens normally after you beat Yakra. So that's Yakra skip. It's relatively simple. It can just be a bit overwhelming if you're not used to seeing stuff like that. And really pretty good Yakra time for Kehanort, actually. If you add the 2 seconds, you normally get this like a 15:21, which is a very respectable time.
Pretty nice. Also, another thing, basically the reason we're playing in the English version, the US version, is also because of the unequip glitch. In this version, the unequip glitch actually gives us magic attack as well for some reason. So that makes us, you know, need to grind a little bit less and makes fights a little bit easier. Yeah. And the Japanese version, you don't get the magic attack bonus.
Yeah, I think we've estimated, like, theoretically Japanese isn't faster in any glitch category, that allows the equip, even in any percent, because of just how good the fights are. But of course, like, there hasn't been as much interest in JP, so we don't know if we could get better fights or anything. So for any percent, it's still tentative, but for all the other categories, it's pretty much sure that Japanese is slower. Yep. Which is rare to see, actually. So
yeah, well, there's way more people working on US version, so...
Yeah, as well. The Nico community for this game is incredibly small, and glitchless for the most part, which The thing with glitchless CT is that it may seem appealing, but it involves a lot of grinding. Because the thing with Chrono Trigger, compared to other games, that you can fight the final boss whenever you want. So it's really just getting to a point where you can beat him. In this game, we're going to be able to... We're gonna need to get a specific piece of equipment that we can only get later on in the game to be able to actually tackle the final boss. So it's basically get that piece of equipment as fast as possible, and then hope you're strong enough by then to beat the final boss.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Okay, so
pretty.
Kehanort's gonna be heading into the mountains. He's gonna be doing something called reverse bird skip. So he's gonna be saving at a certain position. He doesn't want to save that close to a wall because you can soft lock. So he saves, and then he has 4 pixels on the y-axis to get past the fight on the bridge. So he can basically skip the same fight we skipped on the way in, skip it on the way back, and that saves around 4 seconds.
Right. So
he also waited like 4 seconds to, 0.5 seconds to load, so he can load at a certain RNG seed and, you know, get a good RNG for the Dragon Tank fight, which is coming up in 10 minutes or so.
Yeah. Exactly. Because, once again, save anywhere only goes away once you enter a room with a save point. So, like, he's keeping save anywhere for a while. It's a shame it isn't permanent, because having save anywhere for the rest of the game would be really convenient.
Yeah, very convenient. You're gonna see pretty interesting ways of getting save anywhere later on.
Oh yeah, hopefully it works.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we just saw SW do frog skip, so basically you don't actually have to talk to him, you can just run around him. It's like a little known thing. It's not a glitch or anything.
If you touch him, it's like 30 seconds or something. I mean, I failed that.
I failed it once, yeah. A long time ago. That's the thing with like these kind of games. You're gonna make the 1 in a million mistakes eventually.
Yep.
Are we gonna see no stop reverse bird? Come on.
Nicely.
Oh damn. That was a...
So basically the way Kehanort did it is we usually use the tree to set up and get a nice visual cue. SNESWarrior probably has just a different visual cue. And it seemed a little bit faster.
It's worse because it's not that you have 4 pixels, you have 2, but when you're like against that left wall, you get slowed down, you know?
Okay.
So by doing it that way, you don't get slowed down, so it's harder to hit the right pixel, you know? So right here is like the first bit of RNG. We've mentioned that this game is RNG minute. Well, there's certain things you cannot manipulate because they're based on in-game time. So the first thing based on in-game time to the frame is the result of this trial. Because since we did pretty much nothing in the fair, the guards are going to be split down the middle, and one guy who's random, no matter what you do, he's always random, is going to be the tiebreaker. So, funnily enough, we actually want to get guilty, because we don't care about the ethers or the rewards you get for getting not guilty. All we want to do is go fast, and guilty gives you less text. So, we want guilty. In fact, it saves about 6 seconds, which in this game is actually pretty consequential. But after the first, I guess 46 minutes, you could say that there's no RNG technically, but there's one trick that's pretty much RNG. You can manipulate to a certain extent and reduce the amount of randomness in it, but it's not 100% consistent no matter what.
We can also try to, I mean, when you're in the Millennial Fair at the start, you can manipulate depending on what you do to get guilty every time. But that's slower,
yeah,
so
it's just
basically it takes like 5-6 seconds to get guilty every single time. So you might as well always do it as fast as possible, and then if you save those 5-6 seconds, then sure,
so
nice. If not, then...
So in theory, getting guilty is a 47% chance. In practice, it's a 1 out of 100, I'd say. Something along those lines. So, not this first guy, but this second guy, he's the one that's going to determine it all. So let's see what he gets. Not guilty, okay, well, can't win them all.
Damn rip. Yeah, we only need to check out the second guy. That's the one random. So basically, the way he sets is after one of the cutscenes that plays during the trial ends, he basically gets set to a certain value, and that's guilty or not guilty. That's because we're not tying him to any action during the fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, RNG. And after this, they're gonna do the prison, which I think it's a pretty cool area, but it's
Yeah.
only like a minute and a half long or something.
Yeah, actually, like, a good prison is, like, less than a minute from
Yep.
entering the first room of shields to entering the second room of shields. That's how
Oh, okay.
I sort of time it. Like, a lot of, like,
Yeah,
small things to keep track of. I know SW doesn't run with splits usually, so this is probably gonna be weird for him. I run with, like, a ton of splits.
There's also RNG in this split with the cards.
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah.
they may catch you.
Prison has a lot of RNG. Like, I'd say the first 46 minutes are... You try to get a good run going with RNG, and after the first 46 minutes, you just try to kind of play well and not lose time. Sort of how it feels. Especially at, like, this high of a level, where it's harder to gain time than it is to lose time, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. There are gonna be things later on that it's like, okay, you can try it, and if you get it, you save like half a second, and if you miss it, you lose like 30. So, do you want to go for it?
Because, like, getting into a fight in this game, like, in any other game, it costs, like, maybe 5 seconds. This game, it costs, like, 20. At least 20. Because you have to both...
At least.
Yeah. Because you have to get into the fight, run away. If you can run away, because there are certain fights later on that if you get into them, you have to, like, spend 2 minutes fighting them. And then you have to reload to get back on RNG. Because you cannot... Like, you cannot feasibly gain any time by trying to do a fight off RNG. It's just not gonna happen.
Oh, SNESWarrior also got not guilty, so he didn't save any time there.
Mm.
Same
He's
RNG for
slightly
both.
behind, but I mean... Honestly, like, a minute... If it stays at a minute and a half after this game, I'd be pretty impressed. It's really good for 5 hours of runs.
Yeah.
So here,
I agree.
thanks to reloading to the right spot, he can cycle in for exactly 60, which will be enough to kill. If he reloaded correctly, that is. Perfect. So this area is the first tricky part of this area, is you have to get through these shields. You have like a wide range of pixels.
Nice.
So then you're gonna fade out this fight. Slightly faster to do it, not by much, but it allows you to conserve RNG, which is the main thing.
Yeah, that's the main reason. It's a pretty long fade out.
Yeah, and you don't want to drop these kinds of fade outs, because since you're storing the transition, you're sort of playing with fire, because you're opening the menu as late as possible, because you don't want to waste a ton of time. But the later you open the menu, the more you risk opening it too late and getting pulled out of the screen. So
Okay,
this-
here comes the cards. So, okay, pretty good RNG for the first one for Kehanort.
yeah, the second one's the
Basically,
really
the
bad
first
one.
one. Yeah. Let's see. He's waiting.
Yeah, that's a safe way to play it, wait for a route down. You can also look for like a change in animation, because his animation will reset if he like goes down into down. Because you can either face right or down there. But if in marathons you just really want to play safe and wait till right down specifically, because then you know for sure that you're going to be able to get it if you're mashed correctly. Because there's also a pattern where he goes right and then immediately down, and then immediately back right again.
One fade there from Kehanort. Nice.
It's very, very tight. I'd say pretty decent prison overall. He lost a couple seconds on the last card, but still not too shabby.
Yeah, nothing he could have done there. I mean, since it's a marathon, you want to play it as safe as possible.
Yeah, for sure.
Because Dragon Tank of RNG loses like 30 seconds plus the time lost in the next split.
Yeah, it's like
It's the same.
50 mistake in prison pretty much.
Yep.
That's if you know the...
Okay, so the Dragon Tank now. Basically because we know the RNG we're at and he didn't get into any extra battles, he's gonna know he has 3 criticals that he's gonna get this fight if he does them at the right time. So basically all the attacks he's gonna do are gonna do during animations, so he can do the fight exactly the same every single time. That's gonna save time.
Yeah. Because basically, this would be an incredibly risky and dumb strat if you were off RNG. Because you're basically trying to kill the head, which is what slows down the fight by healing all the parts as quick as possible. But by doing that, you're putting yourself at risk to getting destroyed by the other parts. But thanks to crits, we're able to kill the head fast enough to be able to deal with the parts before they can attack again.
So one funny thing about this fight that I don't think many people know is that if you use Cyclone, the Dragon Tank counters with a heal. So even though Cyclone's very good, you don't want to use it that often because of the heal counter. In this case, he uses it because it kills the head, so he doesn't have to. He doesn't heal after.
I actually didn't know that. The more you know. So, not a bad time at all. Really putting the hurt in today.
Okay, pretty good for Kehanort.
So we're gonna get the shelter. We're gonna be losing it later on in the future. Shelters are very useful because they restore HP and MP. So you can get past these guys by sort of sliding across the stairs, and then you sort of hit the edge of the hitbox, and you don't get sucked in because you're far right enough. It's a bit tricky, but still not too difficult to pull off.
Yeah, so SNESWarrior is not doing the fight. He's also on the right energy, so he's gonna get all the criticals, which is pretty nice. Now, Kehanort's getting out to the future. The future is a pretty, I don't know, it's a high-risk, low-reward area, where it's possible just to lose a lot of time. But it's all like, you don't save that much time if you do it like perfectly.
Yeah, there's
It's pretty weird.
I'd say 2 moments where you can gain 1 second if you're like within like 12 frames of precision, and you lose like 30.
It's pretty bad, but there are some pretty cool areas. I think Lab 16 might be one of my favorite
Lab
movement
16
areas.
I don't know if Kehanort does the easier strat, like double rat, or the harder strat. I do the easier strat now, because I don't know, I just like being consistent. Even if I lose like 30 frames or whatever. So I guess we'll explain it. So in Lab 16, there are rats, and whenever you hit a rat, you get a small text box that will close automatically. That's the important part. Saying that you either got gold stolen if you had gold to be stolen, or that you got a tonic stolen if you had those as well. And so when that text box is up, you can't get into any encounters. Like, if you run over a trigger, it's not going to trigger. So you can use that property to your advantage by having a rat trigger up and then walking through enemy zones. Now, the tricky part is that you also need chests, and so to be able to open a chest, you need to have the text box closed. So it's very tricky to be able to juxtapose opening the chest and then immediately getting the rat trigger. And you have to do it all fast because the rats are on cycles as well. So I think we'll just let it be explained visually by Kehanort himself. See how he does it.
There he goes.
Okay, he's going for single rat, looks like. Perfect.
Nice.
Good start. Should be a perfect.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. It's textbook Lab 16, I'd say.
He got money stolen there at the end. I don't know how tight the money route is now, but
you can get stolen as much as you want. You can have 0 and you're fine. I think you can have 0 and still do like a tighter money route where you skip a gold chest later on, but you have to buy like the minimum amounts of healing items, so it's not something I'd recommend. So he's already doing the menu here, which I guess, it doesn't really matter. World Map has a bit more lag on menus, so you should do it inside, but it's not
he did the shelter, right? I think that's why he did it outside.
I don't think he's sheltered. He shouldn't, because he's on RNG, yeah.
Well, I mean, instead of sheltering for in factory, you do it here.
Yeah, you get like 2 less MP though. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's true. It can be pretty bad if you get the bad acid alkaline pattern.
Which we'll talk about extensively later, of course. So here we're gonna have probably the simplest boss of the game, but you saw him change controls temporarily. So the reason that is that the devs, for some reason, they made it so that when you open the menu with when you press the X button in this room, there's a fight that triggers for whatever reason. That's not the boss fight, just a different fight. So he swaps his control specifically so that menu is not on X, and then he does the fade outs with A or whatever, and then swaps control back for the rest of his play. Now, that's a bit slower than just playing with your control swap for the entire run. I, for example, swap Y and X. Other people do different things if they're going to swap controls, but the most important thing is not having menu on X for the entire game. I think Y and X swapped is pretty easy to get used to, but it can be hard.
Yeah, for sure. Since you barely use Y, to be honest.
Yeah, Y.
X you do use quite enough.
Yeah, you at the start you get the party menu and the menu confused for a little bit, but
SNESWarrior did shelter outside of
yeah, I think it always does that.
Yeah,
it's like it's slightly faster, but you do have the disadvantage of getting one less cyclone. So here we may see some risky movement. You can either wait for this last bug here, or be very precise with your movement, very fast, and clip past him. In Marathon, I went to top cycle unless I was really confident.
Oh no.
Yeah. See.
Nice jinx, dude.
Commentator's curious. But yeah. That'll cost him a bit, but not
catch up
too much, but it allowed the teams to catch up, so let's look at the bright side of things. But yeah, he was, I'd say, also, only frames late. That's the thing. Yeah. And we're gonna see Guardian skip again on SW's side.
Let's go.
As well as a cutscene skip on Kehanort's side.
Kehanort's also gonna have to do an extra menu since he didn't shelter. He's gonna have to do it now before factory instead of inside of factory.
Yeah.
Just to make sure he doesn't die on the bugger fight.
Yeah, I mean, I know the script, but I don't know if you could script it to not have Chrono die, or Chrono get attacked. Because you really do not want anyone to die at this point in the game, because you're going to be under-leveled, and that's going to have tons of repercussions on your unit. And it'll be just bad news in general. So they skipped like the biggest half of the cutscene by fading out the cutscene. I don't think you can fade out the second part. Or
no,
if you do, it doesn't advance the story. It's a problem.
As soon as you enter, you get
really?
into the cutscene. Yeah, don't get a chance to move. But if you don't watch it, then that story doesn't advance. So yeah, gotta watch it. Also, I think this is the best play to repeat it. I've said for like 2 years now, if somebody can find a way to skip Ari's Dome, and skip this area completely, not having to enter Ari's Dome, and basically call the bike key skip, I'll give you $50.
Future skip confirmed.
Oh man, future skip.
Well, I mean, Red technically found future skip by not having to go back to the future to get the elixir.
Yeah, that super old route. I remember Magus softlocked once when he opened the chest for the elixir. Amazing. This game also has that you can softlock pretty randomly. Doesn't happen that often. Hopefully we won't see it, but sometimes it can just softlock in pretty weird spots.
Isn't that just VC randomly?
No.
Oh really?
Yeah, I've had music glitch 3 times now on console.
Huh. Yeah, there's console differences as well with this game. Not relevant for this category. It's relevant in 100%. The safe / console independent ways of doing certain things are just faster anyways, so doesn't matter. But the SNES Mini, or the one chip, has a slightly different CPU and actually handles certain fights differently. Very slightly.
Interesting.
So you can't do certain glitches, or certain setups for certain glitches rather, in some of the fights on 100%.
You can't?
Yeah, you can't do the Magus Electric glitches on Seal with the SNES Mini.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the normal one.
So here's the Johnny race. Basically, every time he bumps you from behind, you sort of gain a bit of time, so to speak. So you're going to want to try to get the most points as possible, because it'll indicate how fast you went. You don't gain like a ton of time, but the difference between like 1,000 points and nothing at all is like 6 seconds. So it's something you want to go for.
You also want to play it safe at the end, just to make sure you don't lose.
Oh yeah,
especially in the marathon.
losing is like 40 seconds.
Every runner has lost this race.
Yeah.
In marathons and races.
Dude, he scared me there for a second.
Come on, press A. He's watching the fanfare. He lost a little bit of time there. You can actually skip that fanfare.
Yeah. Did he watch the whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess I didn't know about that for a while, actually, so maybe he doesn't know.
Oh, okay.
You should tell him about that.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
This is like 20 seconds if you watch the whole thing. So here, I don't know if he knows the script for this. There's like a backup script that you can just learn. He also didn't heal. Uh-oh. Well, he has a revive. He has a revive though, so it's good.
Okay.
It's good, but
oh,
he's not gonna be in any danger probably if he plays smart.
Yeah. Luca probably won't die. He has to kill that guy fast. Okay, nice. Yeah, he should revive now. And then just pray this guy hits Marl and not Chrono.
Or even then, he has 50 HP, so...
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So that safety revive paid off. While SNESWarrior is destroying the Johnny race. Oh, he's playing it super safe, nice. He had 1.3 and he played super safe, nice. Okay, so nobody lost the Johnny race and lost the 50 seconds.
Right.
It usually happens. At one point, the world record had a lost Johnny race.
Oh yeah, dude. Was that the 58?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I remember that was the world record when I first started running, like a year ago. Didn't run for that much time, but.
Yeah, both racers are pretty close. SNESWarrior has closed the time frame a little bit.
Yeah, so you're gonna see the correct fight. Yeah. So he's gonna wait a bit so that he can buffer this attack with Luca. That's something we do quite often. Just wait a little bit so we can do something during the animation. Saves a bit of time and also makes our lives much easier. So you don't have to frantically switch to text and stuff like that. There we go. As you can see, it's much cleaner. And so another thing, I don't know if he knows about it, but for the next fight, he should be able to just hold X and get a good fight.
Oh, you mean for the acid?
Yeah.
Yeah, he shouldn't die since Chrono has 50.
For sure. But, yeah.
Well, even though does Luca have 26 though?
Well, what I'm saying is that, like, if you mess up somewhere in future and have to do this fight, usually you can just hold Y or X and you get like a crit for 8 and then a crit for 4 with Luca. It's usually how it ends up.
Oh, okay.
So neither of them are named. Well, maybe SW is gonna go for Bobo Force. Hopefully.
We can only hope.
So leave Marley behind. I think just Luca's just slightly better for this area anyways. And Marley still has Berserk on, which is just annoying.
Yeah. I think Marl can actually do 3 damage because of the load bow. But there was a reason why we took Luca and I can't remember it at the moment. Because we used to take Marl before and we switched after a while.
I think it was because of flame toss strats maybe, but now we do mid toss strats anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, so this fight, since Kehanort's not on the right RNG, he's gonna just have to hold X. Normally, Chrono hits for 1 and then Robo crits for 10, so he dies in 2 hits. They have 10 HP.
I don't know, maybe this bad RNG string will give him a good slime fight. Who knows?
Let's hope.
My best slime fights have been off RNG.
Okay, you should explain the slime fight now.
Okay, so basically the way it works is that unlike most fights in the game, the formation the enemies are in isn't manipulatable. It's random based on the frame you enter the room. So you can't manipulate. You can sort of manipulate, but it loses so much time to manipulate it that it's not even worth doing, really. You may gain like a second out of it, and even then, like, you're still only gaining a second compared to mediocre or average time, anyways. So basically, you just have to pray for luck. Whenever you hit a green slime, when it's close to a red slime, it'll counterattack you. So you want to avoid that as much as possible. So if you get 5 greens, you're in heaven. 5 reds is bad, but can be okay. Because the big thing as well is how many times you're going to do 1 damage on red slimes. Because red slimes have a lot of defense, so most of the time you end up doing 1 damage. But sometimes you can hit for 4 or 5 if you're lucky. So what really makes or breaks a fight is getting a ton of low damage rolls.
Yep. Also, the green ones have 1 HP less, so they have 9. But they also have a counter attack. So this is a pretty good pattern, I think, considering what he got. Oh, they moved pretty badly. You don't want to attack a green close to an orange one, because they're going to counter. Or red one, whatever. So yeah, that was good. He got no counter.
Yeah, 3 gains, 2 red is pretty good. The problem is when they're intermixed. It's very hard to manage the fight. One strat I need to start doing more is trying to kill reds first.
Interesting.
Because like if you have like 1 red, it's a better idea to kill the red guy first, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But most people, okay, damn, it's a good pattern for SW. Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, he's killing the red guy first, or trying to at least. Rocket punches are good. Normally they should be able to one-shot slimes. Sometimes they don't.
Yeah, the green ones, they usually one-shot them. And SNESWarrior's gonna catch up pretty hard.
Yeah, he might be ahead.
Just Cyclone, dude. Yeah. No, not SNESWarrior. I mean for Kehanort. Since the green one had like 2 HP left.
Right.
Man, those ones on Kehanort's screen, this is... oh my god. Yeah, they're basically even now. Wow. This is what a slime fight can do to you guys.
Exactly.
Damn.
So this is a pretty interesting race now.
Yeah, there's like 9 seconds only in difference. SNESWarrior cut up.
So
Pretty
for this
nice.
password, I don't know if they both know the trick, but if you have a password in this game, you can actually just hold all buttons. And you get the password.
That's also pretty new.
Yeah.
Okay, so both of them got hit, so they both have to heal. I think they both did it already.
Yeah. It's pretty lucky to not have to heal. Save like 40 seconds or so.
Yeah. And then this next fight, the our series fight, basically, since the previous fight, the acid alkaline fight is random, we don't know what RNG string we're at. So but there's always the certain strat we follow, which is Cyclone. For the front first, and then kill the back with 2 cyclones, and then cyclone the front again. This avoids them from countering, because if you kill one from a line, or kill a line first, they'll just like be all mad, and when you attack them, they'll destroy you basically.
I'm also gonna want to insert a mid-tonic in there to avoid from dying. So because whoever gets hit the most on the first volley of tackles, gonna mid-tonic them. And so if you're still in this fight, you're probably gonna die. The thing is that, like, the most important thing is the first cyclone, because in this game there's sort of a pile-up effect with ATBs, and that's if like let's say 3 characters get their turn at the exact same time, what's gonna happen is the first guy is gonna get their turn, then you like lose some time, then the second guy gets his turn right after, and you don't have time to do anything, and then the third guy gets his turn right after, so in the end you've lost a ton of ATB, even though you're like only like a couple frames late. You lost like 20 frames of ATB or something. And like, the first cyclone is essentially skill based, but sometimes you have very little time to get it. So
yeah,
can be tricky. Neither of them safety save, neither of them switch to BS2. I think dying to this fight is a rarity for a top runner, I'd say. Kehanort had a pretty bad future, and the slime luck wasn't that great to boot. So I think he lost like 1.5 minutes against SW, but still pretty good.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good, to be honest. That minute from the slime fight, there was...
Yeah, he lost.
I mean, maybe
time.
he... Yeah.
Okay, good first cyclone for Keha.
Nice.
Good first cyclone for both of them, so off to a good start.
Let's see which strat they're gonna do. If they're gonna do the
I think we're
kill one with Luca or mid-tonic.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see mid-tonic for both. We'll see though. What's interesting is is he?
Yeah, Keha's going for mid-tonic. SNESWarrior as well.
Alright. So he.
Oh, not even gonna mid-tonic. Yeah, he doesn't need to.
Oh, did he get the warrior pattern? Or I think he's just good HP wise.
Yeah, I mean, the 2 hit Chrono and 1 hit Luca, so
Did he?
there's no risk now.
What is that? Huh. That's not what you're supposed to do, but... So SW killed the
front first.
You get... Basically, like, the tackles do more damage than the punches, so you kind of want to avoid that, but it works, I guess. So, bit of a 47-hour series. Not that bad. Not that bad of a time.
Oh, high 45.
High 45.
Good for SNESWarrior.
It's pretty respectable time. I mean, honestly, like, he didn't get the best of RNG. He didn't play, like, super good as well. But, like, I'd say anything under, like, 45-40 is, like, you have to get some kind of luck to be able to get that, you know? But sub 46 is definitely skill, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, 2 years ago we were boasting about sub 50 R series.
Yeah.
Now it's gone all the way to 45.
Yeah, I remember when, like, what, like 58 Zombor was good? Or, like, what, 101, when we said 102 Master was impossible, now we have sub 101. Or, like, sub 2 Magus, it's gold standard, now we have 147. 147's only been recent as well. 147 used to be, like, really, really good, like, a month ago.
Yeah, I mean, 148 was considered almost impossible. And when was that? Red Slash when he did the race.
Oh yeah, 148, 54. I mean, honestly, there weren't any new strats since then. I want to say. Just Zerg Master, pretty much.
Yep.
But he did get 5 greens, so he got 5 greens and played okay.
5 greens, yeah.
5 greens just, like, on the average fight I'd say is like 50 seconds to a minute. 5 greens is like 30 seconds. So it's like 20 seconds, 30 seconds time save on like the average run as well.
So right here they want to learn magic right now. So they're basically gonna leave Robo behind and they're gonna learn magic with Chrono, Luca, and Marl. Which is the only time we're gonna come here to learn magic. Frog doesn't learn it in this run. Doesn't need it. And Master Troll's BQ is in the building.
Yeah, there's like a tricky way to do it, where you can say like a second by taking advantage of the fact that the hitboxes for this room are only at the corners. So basically, to register that you walked across the room, you only have to hit the corners and the door. So you can sort of diagonal move, because like because of the way the room is, like moving diagonally is faster. It looks super weird, but it's just how it is. They both open the door, which I don't know. I don't like doing that because then you get kind of stuck and you have to move above the door.
Yeah, I never opened the door. I guess it's preference. That's why I did it as well. Maybe it helps with this weird movement. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I found it because like the way I do it is I just hold left for that bottom section. But I guess it works.
Okay, so Kehanort didn't fight. That's good. Yeah, if you're just mashing, it's pretty easy just to get into the fight.
Oh yeah.
It loses like 40 seconds maybe.
Yeah, so here
if you know how to do it.
We should see a small cutscene skip here. We're never gonna see this method again. So what he's gonna try to do is he's gonna try and confuse the game by swapping party. When the game lets him open the menu when he really shouldn't be opening the menu. So hopefully we'll see that here. Yep. Might have been too early. Okay, no, that was good. Perfect.
Nice.
So basically by swapping characters, the game lets him regain control. And move a little bit.
That's pretty nice.
And then the cake activation gets delayed, and so then you get a group up during the when the cutscene starts again. And so that group up basically gives you control again.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Also, I don't know if it's been a while since you last watched Chrono Trigger. There's no use for the tabs now. I mean, those tabs. We used to get in the house, so you can now immediately go to Heckran.
Yeah, so this cave is pretty fun. I like it. It's lots of technical stuff leading up to boss skip.
That's the first time I saw that text box skip. That was pretty sweet.
Kick and dash.
Cake and Dash. That's a pretty good name.
So I don't know if they're gonna slash here. It's a good idea to move Chrono to slash at some point, because he's gonna be needing to mash out slash for a fight a bit later. I don't know, just personal preference really.
Yep.
Using an ether on. I think he just got the ether by accident or something. You don't need the MP there because you're gonna be healing out a bucket later.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I think he just like accidentally got the ether. So here we're gonna see a little fade out for this fight.
Yeah, you skip the roly-poly fight.
Then he's gonna
the
use an edge here to sort of slide past the bats.
Nice. Pretty nice for both, huh?
No stop for SW. Classic. So I wonder what method. We're probably gonna see the harder method where you save immediately for safety and then you just go straight at the trigger. You can also like reset after going to the corner to have one more frame to do it. Looks like the Kehanort got the hard method for sure.
Yep.
Okay, SW does sort of the slower safety method, which, but he got it anyways. That one's more costly if you have to reset. So
yeah, so basically the way they're doing it now. Before we used to go to a corner and basically save and reset, but in this case you can do it like right from the start.
Yeah, so you have to.
It saves and resets.
You can't just run straight at. You have to sort of walk for a little bit to move the to arrive at the trigger later. Because triggers in this game aren't static; they move. So by releasing B for a little bit, you end up arriving at the trigger later, and thus the trigger is further away. So it's kind of it feels kind of like moving the triggers in practice. And so lots of tricks. This run is pretty dense at this part in the game. So here we're gonna see sort of a mini LSS.
Oh, end up time save anywhere.
Yeah. So basically, the way this works, I'll explain what you have to do to make it work, not why it works. So basically, you just confuse the game by storing a pillar text box under another text box, and then the game gets super confused with how it should warp you, and whether or not it should let you open the menu or not, based on how you interact with the text boxes. Basically, it's the easiest way to explain it. So he's gonna try to close these text boxes at a specific rhythm, I want to say. Got it. Got control there. So then he can move on to the save point. On a save point, when you leave an area, get save anywhere. Let's see if SW can get it. He might do pause buffering strats. I don't know. Okay, that should be good. So basically, you can pause buffer there, then press start and A at the same time. And so basically, when I talked about rhythm, there are certain characters that are good, certain characters that are bad. So you can sort of press start, look for a good character, and then press start and A in the same frame, and then you know that you're gonna get it because you press it at the right time. That's sort of a slightly safer way of dude, no stop birds.
Nice.
That's the least copy bird skip to mess up because you don't need RNG anyways because you're gonna have to reload for Zomboy because you're gonna skip him. So it'll only cost you like 10 seconds if you mess it up, so might as well. Saves about like a second to do it. It's a one frame trick, but
it's pretty good they both got end of time save anywhere. If you fail it, it's like 50 seconds.
40, 50 seconds, yeah, for sure. The thing is that like no one practices the cathedral save anywhere anyway, so
yeah.
They're not good at it, usually. Maybe there's no reason to practice the cathedral save anywhere.
Yeah, for sure. Now that apparently with the pause save strat, it's 100% consistency.
Yeah,
if you do it correctly.
I'd say in practice more like 90, 95. You have to be pretty good at it, but
yeah,
the thing with the thing that's revolutionary about it is that practicing it will actually make you get better.
Yeah, while the other one had that one bad frame that could just mess you up.
Yeah, I mean, even if you were timing it, like, I don't know, in practice you got like maybe 80% instead of 75, which is the sort of natural RNG of it. So here, we're gonna see Zombor skip, which is in 2 parts. First you have to skip this first guy, as a text box. Perfect, from Keha.
First try, nice.
Yeah, these runners are good enough for first try every time. The trio first try is a nice feeling to get for sure. Perfect, from Keha.
Okay.
Exemplary skip so far from both of these guys.
Yeah.
Yep. Good for SW as well. Barely clutching out. Oh no, not getting a sub 57, but still pretty good Zombor time for that other series, I'd say. Very solid section. And very solid time for SW.
Yeah, they get Mirage Kent.
So here we're gonna do a small menu. So we just need to equip a few things. We're gonna put the Berserker on Chrono, because it's gonna be needing that for the upcoming fights and boss fight. And then we're gonna give some more powerful equipment to Robo. And we're gonna move the Berserker off Marley, because we need to give it to Chrono. So, this is sort of a quirk with how the RNG works. Basically, the RNG is separate into windows. That's what I meant by sort of approximately the same point. But what happens here is that since you're mashing, you can't guarantee that you're gonna hit a certain window, because there are 2 windows that are very close to each other at the beginning. So you want to hit a window where you do a bit less damage, so loading slightly later than as early as possible, because it allows you to run away. So Kehanort got the later window, which is the 4 out of 6 frames, so the last 4 of the first 6 frames. It's allowed him to save a bit of time by being able to run away, because depending on what RNG you get, you want to set up a different fight so that the next fight is on the same RNG. So in here in Denador, they can't get into any fights, otherwise you're gonna have to do the entire thing. Because like there's no backup save anymore, because you need very specific crits. Before you could backup save because you didn't need crits on the first part of Masamune. And when you don't need crits, yeah, that's the standard way of doing it now. It's a bit riskier, but it's consistent with practice.
Let's see who gets fast bird now.
Yeah, I know SW's gonna go for it. I don't know. I don't like going for it because it's pretty random. It's like based on like a specific camera position. So here we're gonna organize. There's 2 tabs on Chrono. We'll just speed up some fights later. Gets the extra shelter. Might as well. I know. Everyone has their different item management routes. Wow. SW has like a... He's very good at like weird stuff, I want to say.
Fast bird.
Yeah. He's good with birds. In general. Reverse bird skip, no stop bird, fast bird. Just this thing.
Yep.
So we're gonna see the massive
I'll let
fight.
you explain this fight.
Yeah, okay, so this fight, because we're on a good RNG seed, and a specific RNG value as well, Chrono's gonna be attacking Massa. So before you'd sleep the 2, but here we have good enough RNG to be able to just attack Massa directly and kill him faster. You just need to kill one of these 2 to finish this first part. So, the big advantage to Zerg from Masamune is that it's faster, pretty much. You just spend a lot less time in menus, and you have shorter animations, and the fight is more concise in general. Berserk fights are really, like, I'd say the big innovation of, I want to say, 2016. Like, there's so many fights where we use the Berserker now because it's so good. And looks like, I don't know exactly what I'm for Kehanort.
What?
Uh-oh. It's gonna cost him a couple minutes.
Damn, dude.
But it's not the worst thing in the end. Oh, I forgot to equip the load sword. I see. So, the advantage of Berserk fights is that they allow you to sort of have everything be done during animations, which both saves heartache and animation time. This fight's pretty straightforward. You basically just wait for Chrono to attack, and then you just fire punch when you can.
Yeah, that's the way that it goes now with this fight. Like one tiny mistake, just it's impossible to do it. You have to reset all the way.
I don't know exactly what went wrong. I think it was just like too slow. I think it was too slow on the last fire and got extract.
Maybe. I wonder if it would be possible to find another load for the other save on top of the mountain.
Yeah, I know
like
Red Slash had
Marvel
like a
something.
technical thing where you could like back up load, get into a fight. But messing up the fight should be like the harder thing to do, you know? It's getting up the mountain without mistakes that's can be tricky at times. But yeah, solid fight for SW, still on pretty good pace. Yeah, it might have been that as well. That's the thing with this game is that, like, once you do, like, one mistake, it's hard to get back in concentration, you know? And playing this game when you're not concentrated and fully into it is... it's very punishing, for sure. So hopefully he can get stuff back together and recompose himself. So in the end, like, he's gonna lose, I wanna say, like, 8 minutes, maybe. Looking like something like that, 7-8 minutes. And then that's not gonna be a big deal. Earthbound is gonna do way more than 7 minutes of RNG for sure. So you shouldn't be feeling too bad about this for sure. It's all good in the end. And SW can still die to show, you know. And that will cost 20 minutes, maybe even 15 if he dies later on to the fight. So here we're gonna have another menu. So we did equip Luca earlier, but now we're gonna de-equip everyone for extra magic defense mainly. So every time we de-equip, we need to make sure we have none of the item we're equipping in that slot. So we need to sell stuff every time. He equipped the ribbon. I don't think that really matters. I equipped the defender, but I think it's mainly just to get rid of the berserker. So you're gonna want to de-equip Marley at some point, but we sold enough stuff to be able to do it later, basically. It's faster to do it than a different menu later on. So Kehanort's tackling the massive fight now for the second time. Got a new for SW, news are just good luck. He's on Team New as well, so makes extra sense for him to pop around. Yeah, Chrono reg for no LSS is up to 50. I'd say a good run is the lower side of the 50 range, 52, 53, something like that. SW is definitely on pace. I think even for sub 50, if he keeps his shit together, you know.
Yeah, pretty sick pace at the moment.
He's like, what's that, 18 minutes behind my lowest? 18 seconds behind my lowest speed. So,
nice.
and there's still time to save because of new strats, so... this could be it, maybe, but let's not jinx it just yet.
Not yet, maybe later. Okay, Kehanort playing the massive fight pretty nicely at the moment.
Yeah. Honestly, like, once you get to the second part, it's pretty easy. Like, the first part, you have unbuffered stuff. and whatnot. The second part, you just have to wait. Once Berserk fights, not only are they generally faster, but they're also easier. So you just wait, do something, wait, do something. It's very easy to follow. It's just a matter of reading notes.
Agree.
So here, we're gonna make a quick stop to advance the story in Medina. So we need to talk to him about Chrono normally, but we're not actually gonna talk to him, we're gonna fake it.
No cake.
Okay, yeah. Sheltering is 1 second faster anyways. So
Okay.
that was standard before Cake and Dash actually.
Yeah,
Funnily
for sure.
enough. It's time bit. But you have to have Shelter in a good spot though. Like if Shelter is three things down, it's not faster. Though.
Okay, so like 1L press or something.
Yeah, I have Shelter on L. No one follows my Adam route, sadly. It's like another personal thing. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of debatable which item round is the fastest. SW has like a really weird item round. I think he has Mint Ethers on first, if I remember correctly, something like that.
Yeah, every runner is sort of like, there's like a, I wouldn't say there's a standard way. Like every runner just has their way they prefer it, basically.
Yeah, I think CT runners are all stubborn. I'm guilty of this one. I don't want to relearn this stuff.
Yeah.
So
Can agree with that.
I don't know if he's gonna do Flame Royal strats. They're like slightly faster, a bit harder to do though.
Oh, Firewall. Okay.
Yeah, so that's slightly faster. The reason you
How much?
do
Like
it,
a second?
2 seconds, yeah.
Okay.
It's hard to not get hit though, it's a bit tight. But even if you do get hit, you lose like 1 second. The main advantage of
Yeah,
that
it's a miss, right?
is that, yeah. The main advantage of that is in other categories. For Cake and Dash, you'd swap Robo in immediately. Because SW swapped Robo in during one of the Fades in Headcron Cake, you just get one less text box at Headcron itself. So for Cake and Dash and other categories where you don't need more TP on Marley, you put Robo in at Cake and Dash. Which means you wouldn't learn Antipode at this point, which is the other strat you'd do if you don't do Flame Roll.
Oh, okay, okay. Interesting.
Double Slash. That's,
Yeah.
yeah, like 100%. I have to use Flame Roll strats here.
Yep.
Pretty solid fights there. Double Slash is like recent. It's a recent thing people started doing. It's like slightly faster as well.
Yeah. Everything's recent, dude. There's a lot of changes.
Yeah,
So good.
Rename Ayla to A. You can't rename characters the same thing, so you couldn't like do blank 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 A because Luca's already named lowercase a. So you have to rename her. You have to add a character in there somewhere. So you can rename her to J as well, or what's it called? Brackets.
Yeah, and you can use lowercase and uppercase. Take it as different names.
Ayla is the second best waifu of this game. Next to Luca.
I'm not gonna argue right now. We all know that's not true. And Marl's #1, but yeah.
So yeah, so here you want to swap Robo in for this cutscene.
Okay, so they're in the party now. And basically, during the party, it's faster to put Robo, so that's why he swapped him right back in.
So here you
Just
have to
saves a
just
little
do
bit of time.
8 to win. think like the most you can do is like 15 theoretically if you're matched really fast. Most I can do is like 12, 13. Bowls
Yeah,
of
and this is one of the
soup.
weird things. Oh yeah, soup. In this game, some things like, for example, the Johnny race and this, even though you might change your controls, they don't change for these types of games. So you have to press A on the that the SNES has defined,
Yeah.
not the A you change the control to.
Yeah, like passwords as well is always absolute. Like
Yeah.
they're not gonna change. Which is I guess like better. It's less confusing for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I'm also seeing you don't put Marl anymore for this area.
Yeah, no. Thanks to Zerk BT later, which allowed us to have Marley in the fight.
Oh yeah.
Marley
okay.
gets a ton of TP, so we took her out a lot of fights. So there's only like one point where we do sort of an unnatural switch.
Yeah.
And that's later on in Magus Castle. We're gonna switch Marlene for a fight just for extra TP. Because the ultimate goal is for her to learn haste before a level shell, which is sort of the ultimatum for grinding and preparation. So that's the final boss.
Yeah, makes sense. Oh, there we go. Kehanort did get hit, but doesn't really matter.
Nah, you lose a bit of time, but RNG doesn't change at all. So here, there's like a few... That's the thing with this game, is like... It's hard to know where the enemy skips are as a casual viewer. Like, you see them do weird movement. And like, most of that is to avoid stuff. And you don't notice that unless you've run the game.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good about this game, that there's two types of fights. Basically, the ones you can see and you just touch them and they activate, and the ones that you can't see and you need to step somewhere on the floor. So, you know, it's a nice change. So if you see them moving weirdly, they're probably skipping fights. It's not that they are drunk or anything.
Yeah. So, Dinosaur in this game will reach lightning. Just like a fun fact. So he's gonna use lightning, then he's gonna do a sort of wait buffer. He's gonna wait on Ayla until Chrono's turn comes up, just to make his life easier. Because the time difference between, like, doing Chrono's action freely, if you attack with Ayla super early, and buffering it, is in the favor of buffering it. For sure. Yeah, you can shelter on the world map. Shelter here on the save point is better, though, because you're already doing a menu anyways.
Yep.
So here is doing the skip this way. There's like a way to do it where you don't like get pushed at all by the wall, but it's really tricky. I go for it, but then I don't. Like, you can bail out at the very end, and I always bail out. So.
Oh. Now the Nisbel fight, I'll say it again, if somebody dies in the Nisbel fight, yeah, you suck. It's pretty hard to die. Because of the unequipped glitch, he does little to no damage.
Oh yeah, this fight, if you haven't seen it, so what he's gonna do is he's gonna cancel an attack by doing a lightning at the same time, sort of. So he's gonna time this lightning to when Lucas' turn comes up, and this avoids an attack from Nisbel. So normally she'd shake there if you didn't lightning at that time.
Okay, nice.
It's a new addition as well.
And you can see Ayla getting a lot of criticals. That's because of the way we're handling the RNG. So she gets 5 criticals in this fight.
A lot, yeah, for sure. I don't know
It's
about
a
her.
lot. And 1 in the fight before, so it's a really nice amount.
Hmm.
SNESWarrior on pretty sick pace. 1:15:26 SNESville. Damn. Pretty sexy time. Kehanort's also doing a pretty good job, but that mistake, Cirque Massa hurt him quite a bit.
Yeah. Still playing
There's
well.
still a lot of game and
There's
a lot
still
of
a lot of show.
different games to go. So
There's a lot of show left. That's like the main thing. It's pretty hard for Keha to just... I don't think Keha is just going to be able to play faster than SW unless SW makes a lot of mistakes. Which, I don't know, could still happen. You never know.
Yep.
But the main equalizer is probably going to be Show because it's not a very rare occurrence for people to die there, especially in marathons.
Yeah.
And SW does Red Knight in a way that makes it unsafe. Because you can't actually tell if you're finished on the red RNG with the way he does it. There's like one pattern where it could be both. Based on damage rolls.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. In fact, that's what got me in Scorbathon. Like, it looked like I got good damage rolls, but what happened was one of the enemies incremented RNG after I killed it.
Okay. Damn, that sucks.
Yeah, SW is definitely on a really good pace. If he does all the new strats correctly, he's going to be ahead of me, for sure. And we'll see what happens after that. This fade can be tricky, because Melchior doesn't want to talk to you. It's very mean.
Yeah. You also want to put Marlin, so you can actually... Nobody's doing anything right now. So you can just move, and then if you run into him, he'll finish what he's doing faster.
Yeah, that's
only when he's standing.
That's the thing with this game, is you can push into enemies and other, let's say, non-playable objects. And you can advance through animations by that means.
Yep. And he's also gonna go probably for the...
Yeah, that's standard at this point, bro.
Yeah, I know. The menu.
So, at certain points you can cancel fade-ins by pressing the menu at the right time. So there you saw the screen like immediately went from black to completely bright. And didn't fade in at all. And so you're skipping the animation entirely, so that saves a few seconds. It's really easy to time as well. There are a few that are tricky to time, but this one is super easy.
For sure. Now, SNESWarrior is heading into Truce Cannon. He's gonna basically go watch some cutscenes. Well, first he's gonna try the third bird skip, and then go watch some cutscenes before Magus Castle. Kehanort's gonna fight Niswell right now. So SNESWarrior plays it safe, and he gets it. This you don't want to mess up this bird skip. If you do, it's gonna cost a little bit of time because you have to save and reload in order to get the RNG back.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And that's the last bird skip that you have to do. There's one more that you can do to save like 6 seconds. But if you get into the fight, you end up on the red RNG, and if you skip it, you have to reload.
Oh yeah, the before Retinite.
Yeah, it's the last one. So if you get all 4, that's called a home run. So here we have the most riveting part of the game, starting here for SW. We got 4 minutes of pure, unbridled, unstoppable, unfiltered cutscene. Imagine that.
Best part of the run.
Hope you guys are ready for this. Don't blink. Honestly, these cutscenes are pretty good, casually.
Yeah, for sure.
They're very nice.
You can enjoy Kehanort fighting as well. He's been doing a pretty good job so far. He's on the right RNG.
Did you do the new method with
Oh, I didn't see.
I guess you'll see at the end, because you have to do a few unbuffered attacks. Yeah, that's the thing with the mash reload. I think the mash load can get you weird RNG, because it's not the exact RNG. So you have to sort of do slightly different strats.
Yeah, he got lightning an extra time.
Hmm.
Oh, that killed! Oh my god.
Wait, he died?
He had less than HP remaining.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Wow,
Defense.
that's pretty funny. That's real funny.
Okay, so by checking the times, SNESWarrior has like a 5.5 minute lead over Kehanort.
It's not that bad actually for everything that happened.
Yeah.
All things considered. Honestly, like if Kehanort finishes within 5.5 minutes of SW with the pace SW is on, that'd be a really good time. That might even be enough to bump him up to 3rd place, for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If he plays really well from this point, because SW, we'll see after Magus. We'll see after Magus. I don't want to jinx it, but he's not in bad pace at all. Or just stop talking about it. Okay, so there, I didn't point out before, but Kehanort got an extra text box there. You can sort of weave around it and sort of delay the, I want to say the coming of the text box, you know?
Yeah.
And so there he didn't go, he sort of messed up the movement there and ended up getting into it. I think he didn't move back to the center quick enough and ended up just running smack into the wall.
Okay, he didn't forget the Berserker.
Oh yeah, it's a very important item. Definitely don't want to forget that. Or learn the hard way.
Yeah, the flea fight, not on the right RNG can be a real pain.
Yeah, forgetting to equip the Berserker.
Lots of status effects. Oh my god.
Forgetting to equip the Berserker for free is classic as well.
Yeah. Okay, so you think SNESWarrior is done and he's going right into more action? Well, no.
More
he
action.
still has another 3 minutes cutscene.
Yeah. Though we get the best quote in the game out of this cutscene, so it's redeemable.
For sure. Can agree with that. Will he get a new?
I think he's got 2 news so far. It's pretty good for Team Cap.
Yeah, was it 2 or 1?
I honestly,
maybe 2.
Yeah, I know for sure.
I mean, I only remember the first one.
Yeah. News is just good luck. It's like 1 out of 4. I want to say to get a news, so getting 1 should be standard.
1 out of 8.
1 out of 8? Wow, I thought it was 1 out of 4. Yeah, so you don't always get to see a new. I don't know if anyone's ever.
I've only seen 1 run. 1 run with 4 news.
Was it DD?
Nope, background guy.
Oh really?
Yeah,
he's done so many runs. It's just statistically necessary for it to happen at least once.
It hasn't happened and to anybody else, dude.
It's
like I've only seen 1. Like in all this time, I only seen 1 4 new run.
You're a marshmallow, Jerry, by the way.
Thanks.
Almost missed a quote.
Okay. Can't emote. Like Hunter's heading back and he's gonna try the bird skip now. Let's see what he can do. Nice. Okay. So he has the bird skip.
Perfect.
Yeah, this and the first one are pretty bad to miss.
I mean, the first one, like, it's bad, but then again, like, if you're missing, you're gonna reset if you're doing attempts. In a marathon, though, it's really bad because you lose the most time. I guess you could reload, but not I know you can't because you need crits. That's the thing. So you can't even reload.
Oh yeah, true.
You're gonna take the 30-second time loss. I mean, there are scripts in many places for being off RNG. Nothing new for Keha. Nice.
And here we have the animation for Frog. Best in the game.
Oh yeah.
Enjoy. Also pretty good music. Boom. Okay, when SNESWarrior enters the cave, he's gonna want to have down and right held. Basically, he wants to move as quickly as possible so he can catch a cycle on the enemies that are coming up after this fight.
You don't want to get into any encounters. Pretty much for the whole game, basically. It's never more, but that's like not true.
Yeah, you can run in the middle of the red. Okay, yeah, he did it. You get hit twice, so it's not a big deal, but you lose like 2-3 seconds for the attack.
Yeah, in general, like getting hit, it'll advance the RNG by like a value or two. But as long as you're in the like relatively the same position, because there's basically 16 sections to the RNG, and some of the time like pairs of sections will behave the same way. Some of the time they won't. So it's sort of like 8 double sections, so to speak. And so as long as you're in the same section, like the same behavior, and the same damage rolls are going to happen. The things that are slightly different are going to be ATB order. So like, let's say 2 characters get their turn at the same time, whoever is going to go first, and when that tie, that's not tied to the window, it's tied to a more precise value. And crits are basically like, the game takes like the value you're starting on, and it creates an entire like line of crits based on that. So basically all you can do to affect that line is just doing attacks. So every time you do an attack, it advances the line by 1. So in these fights, especially Slash coming up, we're going to be using attacks where we're not going to crit on characters with less attack. Like Chrono and Robo. Frog gets more attack because he has the Berserker on, which increases both his defense and his attack by 1.5. So anytime we want to crit, we want it to be by Frog. So we get more out of it. Because like, if Chrono crits, you get like 2 times damage, but the 2 times crit multiplier on Frog is essentially 3 times damage, so it's more worthwhile to let all our crits be done by Frog. So we're going to use the attacks by other characters to advance the line and have Frog get the crit. So that's the way to manipulate crits, basically.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. The Slash fight works out perfectly.
Yeah, there's a new Slash fight as well. I think you knew about that one, though.
Yeah.
Where you don't attack at all with the other characters to avoid...
Yeah, interesting. SNESWarrior is probably gonna do it, right?
Oh yeah, I think both of them. Like, the new Magus fight is quite tricky, so I don't know if Keha is gonna do it. But new Slash fight is almost easier because there's nothing unbuffered, no metallics or anything.
Yeah, I did see the new Slash fight. I didn't see the new Magus fight though.
Yes, SW's. There's no way he's not gonna do it. I think he knows how good his run is as well. And honestly, like, the thing with the new Magus fight is even if you mess it up, you lose like 2 seconds compared to the old fight, so the risk reward is very good. Like, you should go for it if you're capable of doing it.
I said this game changes way too much.
Berserker and Chrono.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely don't want to forget that menu. Because
definitely.
Berserker is super important. The main reason is it gives Frog more attack, which is really nice. And he has a high crit rate as well with the hero medal. And in general as well. So giving the Berserker is very, very marketable. Very nice. Another thing is that Berserk, with this specific RNG, is going to sort of mess up the AI for this fight. So Flea, for some reason when you have the Berserk on a character that's attacking, Flea doesn't really know who to target, so she gets really confused and wastes a lot of time calculating who to attack without ever attacking. And every time you hit her with a Berserk Frog, it recalculates it again. So you sort of stun lock her, so to speak.
Yeah. It's also pretty important Frog has a certain speed, which is the exact speed we have now.
Yeah,
if he's a little bit faster, I think it messes it up.
11 speed is the magic number for many things. Frog is the holy diver of speed. Speed is perfect. Not too slow, not too fast. It's gonna be really important later as well.
Yeah, for sure. And now the hardest fight in the game, where SNESWarrior can go to the bathroom, take a drink, chill out.
So you're basically just gonna wait for 16 attacks before you have to do something.
Yeah. She does break out of it eventually, so you gotta finish her off with
exactly, yeah.
Robo Attack and Chrono Slash. 2 Chrono Attacks. 1 Chrono Attack, 1 Chrono Slash, I'm just saying.
Yeah, just skippable attacks at the end.
Now we can re-enjoy the best cutscene in the game by watching Kehanort screen. Well, yeah.
Let me... Yeah. There we go. Music hype.
Okay. So yeah, on SNESWarrior's screen, Robo Attacks, Chrono Slash. Then he wants to wait until Frog crits, and then Chrono Attacks. So yeah, pretty good flee for SNESWarrior, standard flee to be honest. Flee drops a magic tab, but I think we've never actually got it yet.
Yeah, I don't
really
so.
need it. So yeah, Kehanort's gonna try and get the fast cycle here as well.
So basically all these midi throughs we're getting were just, once again, preparation for the final fight.
The Swag Slash by SNESWarrior, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
that's
there's a new way to do this. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can get 2 there at the end. Nice. Yeah, things change so quickly that, yeah. It's pretty crazy how basically 2 years ago it was where we started like really optimizing the game after Ottavino got the 330, and it's still getting improved until today.
Yeah, like there were, I'd say, phases. I don't want to say the game was stagnant, but it definitely slowed down in progress until like May of this year. May of this year. I don't want to say it's because of me, but there's like, I'd push
That's a big part.
For like rerouting certain things, because it all started. I don't know when we can explain this. A good time would have been the Frog cutscenes. This fight is relatively simple. Basically, just wait for Frog to do stuff, and then slash or rocket punch. But basically, we wanted to integrate just Zerk BT as a strat. It was like, Amanus wanted to integrate that one strat, and Zerk BT led to us being able to remove Marley from other fights, and made Zerk Massive possible, which made, in turn, gave us the idea to use Zerk and Lavo Shell, which I tested as a joke, but ended up working. Which allowed us to skip other items, which blah 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 blah. In the end, we saved like 4 minutes against the Orc.
It's insane, dude.
Yeah.
It keeps getting improved.
Yeah, yeah. Like 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, Ottavino was like, "New week, new strats. Here you go." And like the thing is, like, rerouting Slash and Magus is pretty big because those were like fights that have been there forever. So we thought they were just, you know, set in stone. It's like the best fight you're gonna get.
Yep. I think Dragon Tank might be the only fight that hasn't been touched. Dragon Tank and our series. Uh-oh, SNESWarrior's looking weird now. Frog died. I mean, he revives for the second phase, so I don't know if he messed up something. Well, he's gonna have to heal. He's gonna get
yeah, he's healing at the beginning of the fight anyways. He should have healed there.
Yeah.
After that first
I
slash.
should definitely heal from.
That's where the script calls you to heal. No matter
Oh,
what.
well, he. Oh, okay. Interesting.
He should have. I don't know. He's stressing me out. I don't know where he heals usually, but you're supposed to heal after that first slash.
Yeah. I mean, if Frog dies before the fight ends, it's fine, but this fight without Frog's super
he's
slow.
gonna lose a lot of time. I think he's good enough to manage it, but for sure, it's just a lot of time.
I think he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he had a different.
He's just making
strat,
us look bad.
which I guess shouldn't matter at all because everything's buffered anyways. Maybe it just goes for every mid-tonic, anyways. It's for swag. What?
Okay.
Okay, I think he mistargeted the mid-tonic. Cause yeah, he mistargeted the mid-tonic for sure.
Yeah. I'm just on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, this is not how like the fight is supposed to go.
Yeah.
But it worked. Sadly, he didn't.
I mean, okay, it worked.
Okay, alright. Good stuff. Good stuff. You gotta play that fight in a different way, but it didn't matter. I don't think he lost time either. He just didn't like a way to mess with us.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
when you missed the first mid-tonic, I was like, oh, don't you mess around with me?
SNESWarrior.
Yeah.
The slash fight, because of the way it works, you can mid-tonic at different times in some places. But SNESWarrior, I had never seen that strat before, so.
Yeah, you basically just mid-tonic at the very beginning, Chrono, mid-tonic, as soon as you can after that, during the first slash, mid-tonic frog. Then after the spin cut, you mid-tonic Chrono. It's pretty simple. Then you just attack in a few places. Like, you shouldn't have mid-tonic that late, but you can, I guess.
Okay.
But yeah, one thing we never explained is that when you're in the menu, the run counter advances, but the ATBs don't, so you can just use that to run away from any fight without getting hit, by basically just getting into the menu. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
So here put Mulligan, because
nice.
she just needs TP from one fight for a haste later on.
Just running away from all of these fights. You're not gonna fight any of these 4 fights.
Yeah. If she can run away from it, you're gonna run away. Oh, dude. Oh, okay. So that's an interesting thing. Is that ATBs are tied to more than RNG sometimes.
Yeah.
Equipping in the same room can like change certain values, certain addresses. It's important for a glitch later on that we'll explain, where you need really precise sets of values. But I didn't know it could affect other stats. Interesting. Oh, nice guillotines. Nice guillotines.
Yeah, really nice.
Hi-yi-yi. Okay. Hopefully he's gonna go for all the risky movement here. That'd be great to see. This first room is pretty easy to do fast. If you walk up, like, sort of gliding past, when one of those rollies is going down, you can slide past them. You don't want to fall into the pits.
Yeah, definitely.
Playing it safe, it's a good idea. Okay, here's the room. Here's the really hard room to do fast. Let's see how he does it. Okay, yeah. Does he get the second part? This is a relatively new thing. Okay, should be a good pixel. Okay, yeah. Did he get the despawn? I didn't get the despawn, but still.
That was
very nice. Very nice. It's a very tricky room. Very tricky room to do fast. If you're super fast, you can even have the last rolly be despawned, but it's pretty rare to get that. Still very, very excellent. tricky Magus Castle parts. Now all he has is a couple of fights before Magus himself. Hardest part of the castle really is just getting those rooms super fast and without getting into extra fights.
Yeah.
Nice show
I think it's
incremental
pretty
for sure.
how the game programmers didn't force you to do the fights in Magus Castle.
Yeah.
Except like 2 that we do. It's pretty weird because the fights SNESWarrior just did is like mandatory, and then the next one you can skip it, and the next after you can't.
Yeah. So
it's pretty weird.
Ada made Luca faster again, and which also makes this next fight easier. You can do it with Robo, slightly slower now, but it's a lot trickier because you have just less time to get everything in before the Juggalos start attacking you.
Okay.
So it resets X-Strike for the next fight. So the way the Juggalos work, basically they alternate between being weak to physical and magical. So you hit them with a magical attack, then they're going to swap to being weak to physical attacks. And every time you hit them, they swap back and forth. So he hits him with the slash, then he's weak to physical, so Rock kills him. And he's going to fire, which one-shots.
It's pretty nice because Luca is actually the only character that kills with 1 magic attack. The rest do like 300 damage or something.
Yes, she has good base magic, and keep in mind that we de-equipped her, so her magic is glitched out, so to speak. Laser beam is a cool strat. Kehanort, I think he's just doing the... Is he? I haven't been paying
Can't tell, dude. I don't know the new strat.
Can't say I've been paying attention.
He's pretty good.
It looks like he's been improvising the end. I don't know. But he's not in danger for the most part. It might just be a different like way of handling it as well.
Yeah. See, he's still getting all the crits with Frog. That's the most important part.
He's off. Okay. Well, and even then, as long as you mid-tonic enough, when you have enough mid-tonics to do so, you'll be fine for the most part.
That's why we buy 21.
Oh yeah, and hopefully you didn't blink, because that's the one time you're gonna see X-Strike. Nah, the fight's so lenient that buffer fire doesn't matter. Okay, crit there. Yeah, buffer fire. What happens is you end up critting there, which makes you lose time. Because a crit is longer than an attack animation, but he's on the right string.
Oh, SNESWarrior is good. Sometimes you do crit the first one. But it's still 124, 125, 119.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen that crit. I don't really know why it happens, but I mean, I've seen it quite a bit. Oh, Kehanort. Oh! No, Kehanort, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, he's good.
So basically, the experience Chrono learns, like he loses with slash. I don't really know the exact number, but let's say he loses 559. From the next 2 fights, he gets like 598 or something. He gets like 3-4 more, so he actually levels up for Magus. But I don't know how that will affect Robo.
Robo's dead anyways. Like he was dead.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Chrono's
no,
fine.
you only need him for this fight anyways, so...
Oh, okay. He's gonna have to do an extra fight to get Spin Cut before BT.
Yeah, so he's gonna have to do an extra Volcano cycle. So we're just going to remind him to Bright Load, and then do an extra Volcano, basically after doing the 2. We have different terminology for RNG reloads, so there's like Bright, Double Bright. Magus reload. Volcano's like, I think it's like 12, it's a lot. It's
Isn't it 18?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 18, it's 18.
So, the beginning of this fight, I guess we'll explain not the differences with the old fight. So most people don't know what the fight is, like, basically. So, Magus, every time you hit him, except if it's Frog's first attack, he's gonna do a counter attack, basically. And it'll change what element he's weak to. So since we know what elements is going to change to, and we can sort of manipulate it by doing different things in the fight itself, we can manipulate it to be just Shadow and Lightning, which we can deal with easily. Those are the only two elements we can deal with this party. And since Frog doesn't have magic, we can't deal with water. We could put Marlene to deal with water, but then we'd still have just Lightning and water. Yep. So no matter what you do, you're going to get 2 elements max.
You want to make sure you lower Magus's defense with Frog.
Yeah.
It's like 200 less damage if you don't. Yeah, SNESWarrior's fight's looking pretty good.
Yeah, so this is where the fight gets tricky. Or new. So here's gonna have a lot of tight attacks to put in, and all of these attacks are gonna be unbuffered, which makes it harder. So you can't just, you know, wait till stuff happens as you could before. Here he's gonna have to be quick on his feet. And this fight saves 10 seconds if he does it correctly.
10 seconds, nice, that's a lot of time.
Sure, here he goes. Now, the danger here is attacking too early, Frog. Looks good, though. Mid-Ether Chrono. Okay. Kehanort doing good in the Outlaw fights. That's decent ATB for the next part. Ooh, that's not good. That's not good. Okay, that should be okay. But he definitely lost a bit of ATB with Chrono there. Hopefully it doesn't have too many repercussions. But we'll see. We'll see. This fight is very tight. Now, one thing I'm afraid of here is Frog. Is Robo going before Frog next time, which is bad. Hopefully that doesn't happen, though. This fight is definitely very technical. And he's already got a little bit of sloppiness. Looks like Frog has enough ATB to outspeed Robo, though, because he's just going to hold X. Perfect, 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 perfect.
Yep, nice.
So ideally, Frog can buffer his attack here. Oh wow, all 3 can buffer their attack. Perfect. Perfect fight. Very good. Very good. Perfect. It's very hard to be able to buffer R3 there. Very hard. Gotta commend him for that. Sick. Okay, so here he needs to delay the slash. Ooh, he messed up a little bit. No.
Oh.
Yeah, so he should have slashed with Chrono there instead of attacking. So what he should have done, instead of going through that menu, he should have just waited a little bit and slashed. No big deal though, has no effects. He doesn't have to revive Frog because he's never going to use him again, but, you know, in these kind of situations it's hard to think on your feet. So, yeah, it's a shame. He lost about like 15 seconds there. It's a shame.
Okay. So 148, 30-something Magus.
Yeah, he's, I don't know. He's on good pace, but he's lost a chunk of time, sadly. So I still think this could be sub 50, but it's going to be tight. He's on
no
like...
split, though. There we go.
Okay. Yeah. It's going to be very tight. But hopefully he can clutch it out. There's still like a few more time saves. Like, there's a new BT fight that saves like 5 seconds. So it's possible... He can definitely sub 50 if he plays, like, on par. If he doesn't make any mistakes from now on, he's gonna sub 50. Which would be insane to see in a marathon, for sure.
For sure.
We'll see. We'll see. Oh yeah. Guess we'll get another occasion to explain Magus again, because that fight's probably a bit overwhelming, so we should probably go over that again. Because here we just have a cutscene. This is the bathroom break. You don't have to mash for this text here.
Okay, so Kehanort's heading out to fight Magus.
Yeah, NG plus is 627. Okay, actually, I have the stream.com page. I can look it up real quick.
I think it's what 628, but
it's
hey,
623.
I'm probably wrong.
623 60.
Oh,
623.667 by Fathlow.
nice. Yeah, New Game Plus was pretty active a few months ago between Fathlow and Bonus.
Yeah, I remember having to retime like billion runs.
Yeah.
It's fun. So we get to see Magus again. The general principle of the first part of the fight is to take advantage of the elemental barriers, which, thanks to RNG, we know both what's going to come, and we can sort of affect what's going to come by doing slightly different things.
Yeah.
So here's like, I think this is the longest fade. But Nisbel 2 feels longer because there's more pressure. Because it's really bad if you mess up the Nisbel 2 fade. But this one's... I just lose all the time if you mess it up. Safe to save here. I don't really know why. Because you can just reload before castle or in castle. So here he should... He should set frog to item. That's better, but personal preference again. He can also, yeah, he's gonna do. It's gonna happen in the Magus fight anyways. The Lavo Shell Magus fight. It's not a big deal to not do it, but personal preference. Sir's gonna get. I don't know his exact item amount, but he should be getting the mini through here, if not just for safety. I think that's like the last one you need if you follow my route. Because you can use an ether instead of a made through later, but it's just semantics. So here these skips are pixel perfect, has to align to a specific pixel, then run up. First one, relatively clean. The tricky part is getting those fast, of course.
Yep.
Second one.
Yeah, it was pretty nice.
Pretty nice. Over on Kehanort's side, I think he's doing just fine with the fight so far. Messing up at the beginning of the fight is hard to do, but if you do, it's pretty bad because you're gonna get wrong barriers and you're gonna lose a lot of time. But yeah, Magus is a relatively simple fight at the end. I don't know if he's gonna do new stuff. He might just do the slightly slower things, but it's much safer. Basically just mash out a lot of rocket punches, slashes, and attacks. So here he's going to put Marley in. So Marley is going to start needing some TP real quick, because they're going to need haste real soon.
Okay, one dark matter for Kehanort. Seems doing pretty good in the fight. Meanwhile, SNESWarrior is heading into Tyranno Lair.
Right. We kept Berserker and Ayla. So you can save a bit of time. If you run away perfectly from all these fights, it ends up saving a couple seconds. I like removing it and putting it back on just to be more consistent. But this is SW. Of course he's not going to remove it. It's always going to get every time save. Yeah, the team composition and runners are in the little info boxes.
Okay.
I'd say even
57-ish.
yeah. So it's like 9 minutes behind. I mean, I'd say even
10
getting like
minutes.
10 minutes. Yeah.
Because SNESWarrior started after.
Right, but I mean like getting a
Okay.
sub 3 in a marathon is really good. I'd say.
Yeah. I mean, my bad. Like 8 minutes. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's the other way around.
So here's
Nothing
a
is
ton
decided
of,
yet, though.
There's a ton of tricky skips here. So it's just too many to point out. But basically, like if they make a mistake, it's bad news. It's very bad news if they make a mistake. Because the fights here are unrunnable as well. So extra fights cost minutes.
SNESWarrior is doing the volcano fight. This is the fight where before everything was discovered, you used to grind for like half an hour.
Yeah, and glitches you have to
Yes.
grind here.
Yeah. It gives like 18 TP, which is pretty good, and it's a pretty quick fight.
So here we're gonna be skipping Invincible 2. Some fade outs. Kind of forget this boss exists, really. Okay, so he does the entire menu here. It's a good choice. This menu is
Nice.
pretty fun. He de-equips Marley as well here. Perfect.
Yeah, he saves during the fade out. That's nice. You can skip the volcano fight, but you need to get some TP.
And skipping is like, I'd say like luck pretty much as well.
Yeah.
Because you have to kind of like go at a specific pixel and then like mashing A can sometimes get you past it as well. Yeah, SW
Yeah,
is
it's like 75%.
I don't know, I want to say there's like a Triforce at the moment. Like SW and I, we're all like neck and neck. It's hard to compare us. We have our strengths and our faults. Like I think my menuing's better than both of them. But they're better at the game in many other places, so it's hard to say. So you can hit that button for safety, but you can go around it. But the problem is that if you hit one of these buttons, you lose time. Or if you hit it itself, you don't gain any time. Here's a relatively tight skip to be on a cluster of pixels. Still pretty easy to spot and get past though. And so we're coming up on BT. So BT is a fun fight, for sure. So this is like a really fun fight, really sentimental for me as well, because this is like the first fight that we changed when rerouting this game back in May. This was like the genesis of it all, because this fight, having Marley in this fight allowed us to sort of have a cascade effect of routing changes. So this was like the beginning of it all. So basically this is the stereotypical Berserk fight. Wait till something happens with the Berserk character, then do something. So first things first in this fight, you have to take out Azala. So we're gonna just use it, and she's only weak to magical attacks. So Ayla attacking at this point is just wasting time, but you save so much time later on that it's worth it.
Yeah, good first skip for Kehanort. Yeah, pretty nice. He got both.
you have to mint tonic here. Oh, I see a bad smiley face. Wonder what happens. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. His safety save is really far back. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's not good. That's not good at all. That's hard to salvage. It's hard to salvage. He basically, I think his controller slipped or something, and he mid-tonic the wrong person. That's not a good choice. He should have healed because someone's gonna get hit with a rock. Okay, it's Ayla. She has a ton of HP. He just needs to remember to heal later. And do more attacks than necessary. Okay. This should kill Azala, though.
Yep.
Yeah. It's W with
Totally
that.
fine.
Nerve-wracking play. Is Chrono gonna die to the... Okay, no, he's good. He needs the Ice Sword during the 50% defense phase for safety. Because his crit string is gonna be off. Yeah. Ice Sword, spin cuts. Probably gonna have to do a few extra Mendithers as well. But I think he can manage, for sure. I think he can manage. He can't do like the new strat though, which is like a lot tighter and minimalistic dooms of attacks.